click the record button and say, yo, what up? Hey, how's it going, man?
It's going.
Good to hear. Shigaraki, huh?
Yeah, one of my other two favorites from set one. And
Yeah. For sure.
I-
Now the evil symbol, gets to do stuff.
I mean, the symbol just now kills you by accident.
Right. Just hit me with the pitch. What's going on with this evil Shigaraki?
So, a lot of people are hype on Shigaraki 2 right now, but I feel 1 is still the place to be, because he literally puts you in a state of, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Primary example is the first attack, Ignited Arrow. You can take 9, you can take 7. Both of those are take 9, I don't get a card. Take 7, I go find a card, or completely block it, and I go find another attack.
Yeah.
There was a person when I was playtesting this list, the Ignited Arrow ended up hitting for 16.
Oh, wow. Because of things like full-on attack mode and conflict of ideologies?
Yep, and I think I started off with like a knife slice, so it was knife slice into Ignited Arrow with full-on attack mode, conflicting ideologies,
Wow.
Shigaraki, and then a keen observation.
Whew. That's pretty
But
good.
it just accidentally kills you.
Yeah.
because there's just so much burn he has now.
Right. Makes sense to me.
And, well, Ignite Arrow is for some reason a Fury, which is why it works.
He's mad. Look how mad he is. Look at him. He's frowning so hard.
He's supposed to be the #1 hero. Granted, Texas also has Fury on it.
Angry man.
Or Detroit, one of the two.
They both do. So what do you need my help with? What's the goal?
So, I haven't tested out the getting these on here because I don't own them, but I want to take a look at the attack lineup. Like, running all 4s is great, but I think it could be better to try and like get the consistency out of just his punishment for deciding, oh, I can take this one hit.
Sure. Yeah. I dig that. I'm doing a little look in. So mainly the attack lineup is what we're looking for.
Mainly, and like I guess the foundations for possible more defense, but like I haven't really usually had a problem on defense.
Okay. Yeah,
Like,
makes this easy.
Like, I want to take at least half my life to get Quick Deck on board, and then I have creepies for everything else.
Right. Yeah, it makes total sense to me. I think the biggest thing that I have seen that you're missing, right, is I really like Prominence Burn. I think this card is exceptional at closing out the game, not with the burn, but with the speed. I think the biggest thing that Shigaraki misses is at the very end of the game, once they've actually built up enough stuff to close it out. And so, like, even just like opening Prominence Burn, giving this one 2 speed, giving the next one 2 speed, and then doing something like a Turn to Dust or a Sudden Death Assault to try and close it out. Like, this becomes what, a 5, 6, 7, 8 mid for whatever. So let's pretend that they full block the Prominence Burn when it's a 6 high for 7. They've got a 6 high for 7 followed by an 8 mid. They're going to get burned. And it's like, this is our version of long-lasting explosion in this deck.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Same thing with Waylay. Going on the opposite end, so as opposed to going higher difficulty, but higher check, we're going lower difficulty, lower check, as a way to guarantee the burn damage, right? I'll play the Waylay, I'll name mid, right? And we've got mid here, or I guess we name whatever zone we want to hit next, right? Both of these are mids, or name a high or whatever, and then just like swing with melee or Waylay. It's 10 damage if they don't take it. They discarded a card, so like they probably discarded like an attack or something, and then continue on from there. And the last one's just Touch of Decay. It combos Fury, so it's a little bad with Piercing Needle and Knife Slice, but if you like clean these out a little bit and just like make Touch of Decay instead of the Piercing Needle, right? It's a 4 diff 1 high block that gets fast or whatever, and this one is just like, it doesn't get fast, but it's got stun, and it's got other tactically viable things with the rest of the package, and it draws you a card, right? So like there's the reason they don't want to block it. If it's not blocked, you draw a card, which feels great.
Huh.
As just as options. Besides that, though, I think that this is kind of good. I think the main thing that I want to add is just prominence burn. I think prominence burn is super super good.
Makes sense. Yeah, the prominence burn would help with adding the speed. I know the one thing I was looking at adding the evil for good or evil versus good in 4 was like to counter special sound. All
Right.
they like response minus speed, heroic lineage.
Yeah. 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 My opinion personally would just be like cut two. Man, it's rough because I don't like this card. I think this card's a big do nothing card for 90% of the game.
I mean, it is kind of hard to get momentum, but that's like
Yeah.
Battle Arena also helps with that.
True.
But like in the way this deck is built, I can tell you I don't use the second enhance because they're usually dead.
It's just like if this was a blank 6 mid for 5, would you play it? Had no card
Uh,
text. It's a 6 mid for 5 with powerful 3 on a 5/3/2 low block.
I might play for the 2 low block.
Okay. That's totally fair. I guess we don't have anything else that's a low block. It's just sudden death assault.
Plus, it also gives me an out for momentum, which I don't think I have. Other than
This
that,
card has EX3. This card has EX2.
I guess I do have EX.
Yeah. This card has whatever you want it to be. Oh, Hellflame Stomp. You're right, Fidu. It should be Hellflame Stomp. There's the answer. Hellflame Stomp is just an incredibly better attack.
That is fair.
Let's reset this one. Thank you, Fidu. Thank you. Yeah, Hellflame Stomp is the answer. I think you should take out every copy of this, or maybe even, you ready? Let's put it to a 1 of, because the card is cool. The card is very cool. Let's just put in 3 Hellflame Stomp. You get to keep a better low block, and it's a 6 low for 9. I'll pay 2 to hit you for 9 on my 4 diff. There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that you should take Piercing Needle and Knife Slice and bring them down to some sort of number and put in X amount of prominence burns. Whether that's like you cut 1 of each to play 2 prominence burns, or you cut 2 of each to play 4 prominence burns, whatever it is. But I think this card is what's going to help you close out games, right? Prominence burn into Hellflame Stomp guarantees 9 damage. It's an 8 low for 9. That's insane. That's insane.
Okay.
Not to mention, you've got like extra burn of like if you're allowed to play it later in your chain. Like I play my ignited arrow, and my ignited arrow goes and finds prominence burn. I slam prominence burn on the 7, commit my 2 resources I don't care about, and then just remove this thing that didn't hit to burn them for 3. It just like this is a 10 damage move that's now threatening 15. Right? This is a 6 high for 15 in our deck, and they already discarded a high block. That's incredible. That's super super good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is your deck, so you gotta tell me what of these do you want to cut in order to make prominence burn happen, if you even do, is the question.
I'd probably start testing out with like putting piercing and knife to 3 each,
and then
try 2.
Try 2. I love that. I think that is fine. My personal opinion is I don't like Piercing Needle in this deck. I think it's win more, but I get the +2 speed, -2 damage. I think it's actually just better to play the Touch of Decay to do kind of essentially the same thing. But I get it. This card is very. It's what a 6 mid for 8 on a 4 diff, and that's not what this card is. This card is not a 6 mid for 8. That's for sure.
I'll say like piercing needle. Like overall, I didn't care about it when I saw it. The main reason it's in this deck is its response for the momentum.
Yeah.
And especially on like anti-momentum decks, it gets them to focus and waste resources on that.
Sure.
Because like, oh yeah, it's 6 mid. It still loses to everything else that the mid attacks lose to.
Yeah, this card, like, if you have somebody losing to the response of this card, they were going to lose anyways. Because of what your character does, right? The difference between burn 5 and burn 7 is so minuscule for the same reason that even in Shigaraki, I don't like conflict of ideologies, right? Because flip for +2 damage is like not a great exchange rate. We have Harden that does that on other symbols, right? But at a commit cost.
But it also freezes if I don't need to
Sure.
burn.
Sure. That is fair, but that's only really good with like tactically with one card. I get its value. I think it's not worth the 2/5/3 mid slot, but when you say 16 damage ignited arrows, I can't ignore that, right? That's just like good.
That's fair.
I'm just nervous that the people you're playing against don't know how to fight Shigaraki, and then you're gonna find these win more cards to be dead on board when you do fight somebody who does know how to fight Shigaraki. You know? Yeah. Right. Because like the way that you fight Shigaraki is to not block. You partial block if you can, and then like that means that this card doesn't work. That means this card doesn't work because they both say unblocked. Right. As soon as these are on board, you just partial block everything, or you just block everything that you can, even if you do get touched.
That's fair.
Yeah. That's all I'm nervous about. That's all. And at that point, right? Like here's 3 cards. You instantly get to side out if somebody's like not playing well with your card. You're like, oh, well, these ones aren't working. They're supposed to work in game 1. We'll just take these out and put in more sudden appearances or whatever, right? Like I'd rather play the 4 sudden appearances than any conflict of ideologies.
Okay.
IMO. But anywho, what we're going to do now is we're going to go through the foundations that I pulled out, and we're going to talk about those and why I picked them, and then we can see if you want to put any of these in or not. Fastest Flame is just like, it's speed. We got to have speed. Every move in our deck, most moves in our deck have fire. 1, not this one, not this one, not this one, 2, 3, 4. Right? So like giving +2 speed to our Hellflame Stomp means that I can spend that 2 life to give it +2 damage instead. Giving 2 speed to turn it. Like this card is just our copy of Let's Fight Bad Guys under the evil symbol. Great spam. Does its job. Cannot be used with sudden appearance though. And so there's the real hang up. Flip versus commit doing the same job. Shadow's Aid. Enhance my attack, commit, get a momentum to my hand. It lets me pick back up these very fast moves, right? Like Knife, Slice, Piercing Needle. I think this card is very good because we don't even necessarily care if they ready a foundation or not. Not whenever we've got like pseudo stun, right?
Yeah.
Happy Go Lucky is insane. It probably should be a 4 of in every evil deck. Enhance Commit, add a low block to my hand in my evil deck is the thing that will save this symbol. I think that this symbol off the back of Happy Go Lucky is a real symbol now, and people cannot complain about it in the slightest. It was like 99% of the way there, and this card has now pushed it up and over the edge.
That's fair. I was excited when I saw this reveal because, go pick up the reload block.
Yeah, incredible. Challenge the Fakes feels great. It's Breaker 2 whenever we're down to soak our life. Fruits of Our Labor is incredibly important. I think it's the best. It's arguably the best deadlock in the entire game because they lose a card from their hand and they build it face down, pushing them further into deadlock. The only deadlock that we really have is we've got Stun 3 on Piercing Needle, and that's it. Evil
Nice Slice doesn't burn.
Oh, Nice Slice does burn 2. That's fair. Burn 2, so technically burn 3. I think this card is like a mandatory 2 of at minimum in every deck that can play it. Just because that deadlock is so nuts. The top enhance is like fine, but like sitting on this deadlock form and looking at my opponent being like, you get to play with 10. That's it. If you go to 11, I'll kill you. Right? I have 1 of these on board and 3 attacks. They have 3 cards in hand. You get to hit them. Right?
That's fair.
Apathetic onboard skills are great. Onboard skills are very good. And so like turning off my opponent's creepies, turning off my opponent's sticky balls, turning off my opponent's whatever is just good. I don't know if it needs to be in the main board or the sideboard, but it should exist somewhere in your list. So from that,
Sure.
is there anything that you want to add from over here?
Well, definitely the Happy Go Lucky because I was going to add that after the things got on UVS, so I just never got around to it.
Sure, fair enough.
And I guess Labors would be my next one, just because it's one of my favorite cards to just kind of jam into a deck.
Yes, I love that.
I
You playing
use it
press
in
conference
my
too?
race.
Press conference is so good with this card. It's very good. All right.
I love press conference. It's just I'm gonna show you this card, and depending on what you show him, it's already a mental war. Because like, huh?
Yeah.
Because I did that to one of my friends. I showed him a sudden death assault. He's like, I don't like you. Because he now had to choose to block my first attack or know that the sudden death is coming.
Right. Whew. Any other cards from over here? And then we can start doing stuff in your main board.
For now, I'll probably keep apathetic to the side just until I figure out what else is not really working.
Fair enough.
Adding in fire attacks, fastest flame probably would be a good one to try and work in.
Yeah, it's good. I just don't know if it's better than sudden appearance, right? Sudden appearance's second ability of like make this thing a flash is very good.
Yeah.
Right. I'll play this knife slice. I'll flip it to 5 low for 5 catch. Oh, you were trying to draw your low block? Sorry, man. I'm gonna burn you for 5. I think this card is low key one of Shigaraki's best tools, especially with things like prominence burn. Right. I'll play prominence burn into whatever. The thing will get the +2 speed. And then I'll just like slam this and just end the enhanced step and be like, I'm down. Let's go for it. It's very cool.
That's fair.
Yeah. Okay, so what does this number look like?
I'm trying to keep it around like the low 60s.
Sure.
If possible.
Yeah. Low 60s with 20 attacks makes sense to me.
Just so it has the consistency it needs.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about cards that I don't like. Bench press. What are your thoughts on this card?
It's a low block plus like it's a way to soak an attack. It's because I can flip it if their attack isn't gonna do much damage. Like heal back 2.
Sure. We've fixed our
and
low
then,
block problem with these 2 cards. But continue.
I was gonna say with Nervous Habit, it just turns on, or like Turn to Dust turns it on by itself.
Yeah,
so it's
that's
just
fair.
It's just one more damage I can add on the turn.
Yeah. That makes sense to me. I am nervous that if you don't have this 2 of copy of Nervous Habit, or you don't draw Turn to Dust, it is the world's worst super rejuvenation. And
that is fair.
Sucks. That's just not good. Not for a 2/5, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we cut this card. If we were playing a character that on face cuts, right? If we were playing Toga and not Shigaraki, yeah, we play bench press all day. But I just don't think we need that card.
That's fair.
For this one. Yeah, we're gonna cut it. Advice for winners. Tell me about this.
I was testing it out because bad checks happen.
Sure.
It's about a 50-50. It has saved me as many times as I've done check a 3. Oh, let's try that again. Check another 3. Okay.
Okay.
I now have a face down.
With how poke-centric we are, I don't love it. But I don't hate it either. I think it's the definition of fine. I think there's probably better stuff that we could be doing. Keen observation. Tell me about this.
It's spam and it goes with what the entire deck's meant to do, just burn you.
Sure. I think flip for +1 damage is a bad exchange rate. The best part about this card is it is a 2 high block and it's got a 0. Besides that, I think it's pretty blank. I would rather play any number of copies of the Floating Around My Babies before I play this card, because at least floating is, playable multiple times in the game. Flip for +1 damage sucks. It just sucks. I would rather play Stronger in Darkness in my character that doesn't want to commit in case I accidentally get committed, right? In case I accidentally have something crazy happen, right? And I'm going for the kill, and I burn them with Shigaraki. I play a move. I have to commit one card. I commit my character. Now my Stronger Darknesses are live, rather than Keen Observation. I think this card is not good. Yeah. But this is your deck. You get to tell me your final thoughts. If you like Keen Observation, we're keeping it, obviously.
I don't mind dropping it, but like, I don't know what to drop it for because around my babies, I can't block with that card.
Sure, that's totally fair. Yeah, it's also you said to mainly worry about attacks, so I didn't really look too terribly hard at your foundations, but I will go back real quick. I think this it's fine. This card's fine. We've got nothing to see here, which is great. Speed hate. We've got. Man, I love floating. I think floating is so cool. Man, there's just so many cool cards that we're not playing. This one. We could be playing like more copies of Sticky Balls. We're playing Shock Absorption is a good card. Brute Strength is a good card. Yeah, I'd rather. Yeah, I think Brute Strength is just a better version of the bench press.
Fair enough.
All right, I added some foundations we get to talk about. Floating Dissolve, Clever, Desperate, Shock Absorption, Brute Strength. None of them low blocks. But yeah, I think that like even playing like Desperate Times, right? Play 4 copies of Surviving, 3 copies of Desperate Times. And I think that you'll use Desperate Times in a more impactful game-winning way than you will Keen Observation.
That's fair.
But if you like the +1 damage, like if you like the burn, then we'll keep it, right? It's your deck. I'm here to help you make deck building choices, not make the deck for you, you know?
What do my high blocks look like right now?
Well, who knows? You got so many. Look at these high blocks. 24.
Yeah, I could probably lose some.
Yeah, I mean, I think first on the choppy block easily is like press conference, right? Or not, sorry, press conference. Excuse me, advice for winners. It was right above it. Advice for winners. You need to like cut this down to a 3 of, right? Like this could be a 3. This we'll put it in the sideboard so it's not off the table. This just leaves, right? And now we've got 21, and then we stack them in our low blocks, right? Because we don't have any copies of Happy Go Lucky. We've only got the 1, and this card has to be played at a minimum of 3, depending on how you feel about it.
I would probably do 3, if not 4.
Your call.
Let's do 4.
4 it is. Hey, you paid for 4. Let's get 4. So there's 16, and you get to go pick them up out of the discard pile, which is great. 66 cards is a little high. I think we want to get closer to 64 with our 20 attacks. Yes, we get to go find moves. Yes, we've got the world's smallest amount of draw, but I think that getting rid of some stuff is still going to be important, and that stuff needs to be mid blocks. So let's come here, look at our mids. And it's crazy how much I don't like Creepy Realization. Although a bird killer, so like we have to play it. Influence the Youth easily gets to go to our sideboard. And then Conflict gets to drop down to a 2 of, and I think we're good. Thoughts?
I mean, it makes sense. I could also put Creepy in the sideboard for if I fight the bird.
True. I mean, you'll just get smacked up game 1 and just like realize you'll have to like make the comeback. I don't know what Shigaraki does against Tokoyami. I think you just kill him too fast, or he kills you too fast, and he can do it without the foundation, right? From the full block, we know that because he kills Mineta with like not only losing the foundation, but he gets stuffed in his pool, and he still does it. And so like I think is gonna be the biggest uphill climb. So like mainboarding 4 creepy. Or like mainboarding 2 creepy, sideboarding 2 creepy might like end up being the answer to try and fight that deck.
Fair enough.
What are your thoughts? We could leave it as it is and you rock the 66, or we could I think cutting one conflict and then sideboarding the influencing is probably the right play.
Yeah, I'll probably just try that.
Okay. I love it. I absolutely love it. We'll do here, and then influencing gets dropped to the sideboard, and we throw it out of our main board. I think the only reason that we have to do that is exclusively because, like, a lot of the really good ability. I was so excited for Influence in the Youth, man. I was so excited for this card, and then I realized that everybody flips their own stuff. They never have multiple copies of cards, and so I was just like, well, shucks. I don't like this. Like it like enhanced commit is like such like not a very big cost. With that said, like you do have things like quick to act. You do have things like full on attack mode, like that whole set of stuff. Things like creepy, like. But a lot of the other symbols in the game, like the earth and the chaos symbol, at least the defense or whatever, it all flips. Just all gets out of there.
That's fair. I know, like, the major one I was looking at was, like, Tokyomi for sure, because he wants to run multiple strongers. It would, like, kill his... Granted, that does nothing for defense, other than commit 3 foundations.
It's cool hitting releases and specialist of sound. Yeah, you're right, Jenna. You're right. That is a very cool thing to do with Influence in the Youth. But I just don't know if we can afford it mainboarded. I think we could if we cut the conflicts. What's a 5 check? It's a 4 check. Let's go back to mid blocks. See if we can find a spot for it. You know what? I think it is actually the creepy slot. I think you could do one creepy, one conflict, or one influencing, right? Still that same 2-4-3 mid block, and then just sideboard the other creepies if you wanted to.
That makes sense.
Want me to click the button? Want me to do it?
Yep.
Let's do it.
We'll see how it works out.
Yeah. If you feel like you're missing the creepies, just like, make the change. If you feel like creepy's not working, put in the influencing, right? Stop that defense. Make your poke hit through. Yeah. Final thoughts on the deck?
I think it will do what it was meant to do a little better. Accidentally kill people.
Love it. Love it. Yeah, the big thing that I'm nervous about is you were going to draw a knife slice prominence burn hand and go, well, this sucks. That's the bit, or even worse, a piercing needle prominence burn hand and go, well, this really sucks. Just like poke with your piercing needle and feel like you don't get to just windmill slam your prominence burn. And I think that's gonna be pretty bad. My last piece of advice, and Jenna's bringing up right now, I need you to be willing to side these cards out. The 2 best decks in the game are playing 3 to 4 copies of Chivalrous Competitor, and this card loses to that card. There's nothing you could do.
That is true.
So be prepared to side Evil Glaze out. Just get rid of it. It's not worth it a lot of the time versus the high-end decks. But when you're fighting, the quote-unquote fair decks, the mid-tier decks, this card still blows people out. So I totally understand mainboarding it.
I'll say against most high-end decks, I just see it as a 1 high block. I'm not worried about trying to destroy things.
Fair enough. Yeah, 1 mid-block breaker 1. Good stuff.
This deck idea is more about them choosing to half block and kill them. Yeah.
I dig it.
Because I've seen decks just randomly kill people with like no foundations. Like, well, destruction had no point.
Yeah, right? How cool. I had 3 foundations as Tokoyami and I still died. How awesome.
So yeah, I usually don't use them for destruction. I just use them because they're convenient 1 mid blocks.
Yeah.
With breaker 1.
It also is like in a panic, pay 2 health for +2 or -2 speed, right? So even if you don't get the break, I mean, that might be good enough. Who knows?
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Well, let me shoot you the list over. Thank you again for the support on Patreon, and you gotta let me know how it does, okay? Post up in the Shigaraki channel.
Will do.
All right. We'll catch you next time, okay?
Yep, later.
Peace.